Hey everybody, Beth Helvey, Michael Saunders and Company. I hope you all are doing well. It is Thursday, April 9th. And the Thursday before Easter. Happy Passover to everybody who is celebrating Passover. I think the first night was last night. So I wanted to talk to you about two things today. Basically, if you are a seller and you are using what we call a discount broker, and a discount broker is the Zillow Buyers Program, Redfin, things like that. Hey, Tanya. The reason that we call them discount brokers is because they will come in and offer a seller a flat fee, a low fee, what have you, to put the property on the market. Oftentimes, the services you're getting for this is limited, as in maybe they're just putting it on MLS for you and then pushing it out to third-party sites. Of course, with Redfin and Zillow, they're putting it on their sites as well. They're not really doing any marketing, and for a lot of these, they're not even helping you at all with showing the property. And some people have chosen to go in this direction. But some of the things that's going on with the current environment, Zillow is canceling all of their buyer contracts through, I believe, the first week of July. At least that is the information I'm getting from some realtor colleagues. If you are currently in contract with Zillow for them to buy your house, you need to check on that and make sure you still have a contract and that you're still going to sell your house to Zillow, because you might not be. Redfin just furloughed a bunch of people yesterday or the day before. So a lot of their agents are now no longer Redfin agents, and they are actually going to establish brokerages to get jobs. So a lot of these discount brokers are falling by the wayside. It is what it is. It's difficult to maintain that kind of work environment and that kind of business model when stuff like the virus happens. There are some realtors who are super busy. There are realtors who have shut down business for health reasons, I'm sure, of course. And then there's the realtors who are probably like a lot of people where we're doing business, but not the crazy amount of business we were doing, say, 2-3 months ago. And that's all very normal. And then of course, when you go with these discount brokerages, they're not going to do things like virtual tours. They're not going to do Zoom meetings. They're not going to do FaceTime meetings with potential clients. And when you don't have that sort of support, it's difficult to maintain your business. And so they're kind of going by the wayside. Hi, Stephen. It'll be interesting to see what happens when this is all over, if they come back into the market and how they're received. Especially by those people who were under contract with them, how they're received, and with the community of sellers and buyers, as well as realtors, how they greet them. So something interesting that's happening with appraisals. So we're still doing business, and appraisals are a necessary part of business. Appraisals are necessary for a loan. If you have a loan, you have to have an appraisal, because the bank is going to determine whether or not their investment, because you're making the payments, but they own the house, basically speaking, if their investment is the same price, hi Donald, is worth the amount. What they're doing is drive-by appraisals. Now, I know this makes not a whole lot of sense to people because you really want an appraiser to go in and kind of see the property and feel the property. Now, an appraisal is a visual inspection of the property. So if the water heater isn't working, they don't know that because they're looking at a visual inspection. If you had negotiated with your seller, or if you've negotiated with your buyer, hi Joseph, that you are going to fix something, that is not necessarily information that the appraiser gets. Here is information that sometimes the appraiser gets. If you're buying a house and there's going to be a new roof put on it prior to closing, we will tell them that because that will affect the appraisal price, things like that. So in these times, which of course are extreme, there is regulation allowed for under certain circumstances for appraisals to be done in drive-bys. Hi, Barbara. So you may ask, what are they doing? Well, the drive-by is basically so they can say they've been there. And I'm not discounting it, please don't take it that way, but they have to have been there to do the appraisal. So they have to drive by, take a look at the property, have a visual of the outside. They're not getting out of their cars, they're not going into properties, and rightfully so. What are they using? Well, they're using pictures. They're going into MLS because appraisers have access to MLS. That's part of their job. They do significantly more research oftentimes than a lot of your realtors will do because they have to come up with a value. So they're using pictures from online. And you're like, okay, fine, whatever. How does this affect me? Well, it does affect you. You want the property to appraise. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, you want the property to appraise. You want the appraiser to determine that the value of the property is what seller has actually agreed to sell the property for or buyer has agreed to buy the property for, because if it doesn't, then you can sometimes be in another negotiation if the property under appraises. The property under appraises prior to the end of the loan approval period, your buyer may be able to walk away. And you've been on the market in this pandemic for 3.5 weeks. Okay, so it's really important that we provide appraisers with all the tools they need in order to do their job. Okay, and how do you do this? Well, you do it with photography. So one of the things I think is going to come up with this is, yeah, they're good at seeing past photography, but if you have a listing where you've got 6 pictures, 7 pictures, something like that online, and it's not showing the entire property, or if you don't have the virtual tour, or if you don't have a video, and if you don't have all this information, what is an appraiser to do? They can only do the appraisal based on the information that's in front of them. So when we're listing properties, and I've always done this, and a lot of my colleagues have always done this, we're allowed 50 pictures in MLS. Do we use them all? Maybe, maybe not, depends. But you want to take really, really good pictures. You want to have good photography. You want to have clear photography. That's why when sometimes I'll have a listing and we'll schedule our photography for a day, my photographer will call me and go, Beth, the weather's really, really gross outside. We need to reschedule this because the pictures are going to be lousy. And we do. And that's why we do that. That's why we have virtual tours. That's why we go through and do videos. Hey, Gail, because of this. So we're doing it not only to market your property, but it's useful in days like this where your appraisers are doing drive-by appraisals because they're going to dive into MLS and they're going to look at these pictures. And if it's your property that you're either purchasing or if it's your property that you're selling, you want to make sure that that property is well represented because you want to make sure that this transaction goes through with all of the information needed. And you want to make sure that the appraisal isn't off, either high or low or whatever, especially low, because the information wasn't there. That just doesn't help anybody. So if you are getting ready to put your house in the market, yeah, we're still doing photography. We're still doing videos. We're still doing virtual tours. And this is part of the reason why. How long are they going to be doing drive-by appraisals? I don't know. Depends on how long this lasts. Right now, Florida is on stay-at-home through May 2nd. It's going to last through then, at least till then. So, and we still have several more weeks in which there's going to be closings, and part of that closing process is an appraisal. If you are in the process of closing in your house and you don't have good pictures, you might want to try to get some. So that's it in a nutshell. So this is what appraisers are doing, and this is how we are going to help them do their job so that you get what you need. If you're with a discount broker right now or in a contract to sell or buy your house, double check to make sure that you're either still listed or you're still getting your house purchased. And if not, then you need to run to your favorite realtor and make sure that they're there to pick up the pieces for you. I hope y'all are having a great day. Today is going to be, I believe, in the low to mid 80s, and it is sunny and beautiful outside. Don't forget to take your meds. Don't forget that if you can get outside and get some sunshine while maintaining social distancing, wear your sunscreen, drink lots of water, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.